The kind of individual who seeks to destiny swap is not random. They are spiritually strategic. They are opportunists who recognize greatness before it fully awakes. They study your patterns, your energy, and the timing of your breakthroughs, your blessings. These people usually have three traits in common. Now, the first one is that they operate from entitlement, not in purpose. So they feel owed what others have earned through calling. These are people who look at another's path and say, why not me? But instead of cultivating their own lane, they attempt to hijack someone else's. They sense that the chosen carry key that allows for them to gain access to favor and spiritual authority. And they want to possess it without the price of refinement. They mimic your tone, your swag, your ideas, your life. They'll try to insert themselves into your lineage of purpose because they can't produce that essence on their own. They aren't builders, they're hijackers of your momentum. Destiny swappers don't just copy, they connect first. And this is the second trait. They'll study your emotional rhythm to gain access. They try to get close enough to understand your emotional code, how you respond to guilt, loyalty, compassion. Once they learn your rhythm, they use it to plant doubt and redirect your energy. They will distract you. They will begin to take up a lot of your time. They will constantly need your blessings, your finances, because subtly they want to convince you to hand over control. And they don't take gifts by force, they coax them away. So they'll use flattery, and maybe you'll invite them into how you do what you do, or share information, or false mentorship. Oh, I like to mentor you. You're someone I really would like to mentor you. I see you going places. And what they want to do, they want to collaborate to siphon access, right? So the moment you begin to question it and you ask questions and how would you like to mentor me? What is it that you can show me? How will I benefit? They'll begin to gaslight you. They'll make you feel or try to make you feel ungrateful for help. It's spiritual theft dressed in emotional intimacy. Now, they'll use imitation as invocation. And what do I mean? Imitation in their world isn't admiration, it's invocation. They believe that by copying your style, your mission, your tone, even your hardships and family, that they can summon the same anointing. But calling doesn't work through performance, it works through alignment. They want the crown without the access. They think suffering is a costume they can wear for credibility, not an initiation they must survive. They'll do it through spiritual contracts that are disguised as opportunities. So they'll offer you a deal, but in that deal, they'll want your likeness, your masters, your intellectual property. They'll want ownership, right? So they'll offer you these deals and collaborations or positions. They'll even position you on a job close enough to you to learn what you do and or for you to be of service to them, and that sound align, but slowly they'll separate you from your original path. You may have a goal that you're trying to reach that you're not sharing, but they want to make sure you don't leave. They will drain your confidence until you start questioning your originality. They'll do that by gaslighting you, making you second guess. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm not sure if people will take to this the way you would like. So they attach themselves either to your platform, your project, your relationships, your family, so that your audience or your energy begins to feed them. And They hope that if they can make the chosen forget who they are, the exchange will be complete. The divine assignment will drift toward the counterfeit while the true vessel feels depleted, delayed, or even distracted. But see, destiny can't be transferred, only traded, only cloned, or only copied, but it can't be transferred because a chosen one must agree, even unconsciously, to step out of agreement with their original assignment. You start following someone else. You start taking their advice. You start doing what they want you to do. And before you know it, what you originally meant for your product or for your path, you're doing something different. But that's intended, it's needed, right? Because they need you to step out of agreement with your original assignment in order for the switch to take place. That's how the switch take hold. That's why awareness is protection, because once you recognize what's happening, their access dissolves. They can copy your moves, your swag, but they can't copy your permission, because destiny responds to the voice of its rightful owner. You have to know when a person want to get next to you because they honor you and they respect you and they want to learn from you. And then there's another who mimics you, right? I'm going to release today Michael Jordan Truth Tellers video. I released it, then I pulled back. But it shows how someone copied their number. They tried to copy things that they did, right? Believing that it will grant them the same energy. Michael Jordan used to slap his hands together with the chalk and play around with the commentators that's sitting there. And then someone else has now come along with the number 23, but instead of clapping it, he throws it into the air. But it's done to siphon the energy to get the same reception as the other person did. Let me go into this. When someone spots the hand of destiny on you, they don't always celebrate it. Some stare long enough to study how to steal it. So they'll move quiet, smile, observe, compliment, but behind the warmth is calculation. They're not after your personality. They're after your permission. They're after your permission slip from heaven. They're after your calling, because somewhere along their path, they stopped believing they had their own. Destiny swappers don't just show up. They audition for your trust. They learn your rhythm. You know, you do what you do, how you breathe when you doubt, how you soften when you care, how you lower your guard when someone calls you special. And once they understand your pulse, then they'll build a plan to imitate it. Think if they can sound like you, act like you, or suffer like you, they can inherit what was written for you. But destiny doesn't respond to imitation. It answers identity. A mother knows her child that she gave birth to. When someone senses you carry something sacred, they rarely stay neutral. Some are inspired, others are provoked. And a few, they actually study you, not to learn from you, but to replace you. So what is it they'll do? They'll mock everything you do and say that that's something they always wanted, right? So that you would become invisible and they can stand up and take your place because they believe that is their rightful place, right? They call it admiration, but it's actually research. Every compliment is a scan, so don't always lose your humility when someone compliments you or flatters you, because every conversation is a recording. because destiny swappers don't want to walk their own road. They want to hijack yours because yours look better than theirs. So they figure, let me take the shortcut. They see your timing and your grace under pressure, your quiet knowing. They see how doors open that never opened for them. And instead of healing, they start scheming. They operate from entitlement, not a calling. They think because they recognize greatness, they deserve to possess it. So they imitate your gestures, your rhythm, your story. And they'll echo your words in different rooms, hoping that those rooms will attach your favor to their face. But they miss the one truth. Destiny is not transferable property. It's written in divine ink, not negotiable contract. These people come close, never too fast, never too loud. They start as a helper. They start as partner, or they want to be your confidant. Confide in me about your relationship. Or, oh, you look sad today. What's going on? They offer opportunities that look like it's aligned, and it may even sound supportive. But what they really want is access, emotional and spiritual. They learn your guilt triggers. They study what makes you second guess yourself, what makes you feel like your boundaries are betrayal and your instincts are paranoia. They use intimacy as a weapon, and they coax to share plans early. Then they'll move behind the scenes in order to duplicate them. They watch how your audience responds to you, then test the same tone. They wear your frequency like a borrowed coat, hoping your favor doesn't notice the switch. But purpose is biometric. And what do I mean? It only recognizes the fingerprint of the one it was assigned to, not the origin. You can mimic someone by even cloning, but they never look like the original. Something is always missing or off because these swappers, they try to build platforms on stolen blueprint till they recognize that they can't recreate what you've done. They don't know how to do it. So they chase validation through replicas. They believe that if they look like you or recreate you in someone else, that you will in fact gain their favor, right? They think if they echo your pain, they'll tell your story and twist the words as though that's their story too, that they'll gain your power. And if they borrow your struggle, what you go through with your family, so they'll want to get close to your wife that talks too much, or your girl or your husband or your man or your siblings or your parents, because they want to borrow your strength. But see, the universe is not fooled. They're not fooled at all. Energy knows its source. Chosen are not chosen because they are perfect. They are chosen because they survive what others could not. And that survival left a signature that can't be forged. The destiny thief doesn't know that what they envy is not the shine, it's the weight behind it. They want the crown, but not the cross that forged it. They want the influence, but not the isolation that shaped it. They want your outcome, not your process. They see your overflow, not your oil press. So how do they try to swap destinies? Through agreements, whether it's spoken or unspoken. Through contracts that feel like collaboration, but are silent trays of authority. Never give someone your authority. Never give them to run your household or your children or your mate or your parents or your career, because what may feel like collaboration is actually a silent trade of authority. That's what they need, your authority. So through emotional guilt, that makes you shrink while they expand, because you'll be seeing them live your life or get attached to who you love or begin doing what you're doing, and it may even seem successful and you'll withdraw. Wow, they took it. No, you keep doing what you do. The universe recognizes you through constant distraction that keeps you questioning if you're doing enough, being enough, becoming enough. They have to distract you, get you thinking about something else, doing something else that wasn't even in your plans, and have you believe that's your original thought. Because their strategy is simple. If they can make the chosen doubt themselves, they can trick them into handing over what was never theirs to give. But destiny can only be traded, not taken. You have to agree to step out of your assignment. You have to give it up. You have to say, I quit. You have to walk away. You have to not fight for it, even if you do it unconsciously. That's why awareness is armor for an empathic, chosen individual. The moment you see the pattern, the contract dissolves, because revelation breaks imitation. It'll get you back on track. Once you remember who you are, their access expires, and then they'll begin to call you difficult. Once they can no longer use you, they'll label your clarity as ego. They'll gather others, paint your withdrawal as betrayal, but don't flinch. That's just the sound of exposure. When a counterfeit loses access to a real assignment, they panic because their survival depended on your energy, your prayers, and your consistency. You were their power source. They wanted your gift, but not your growth. They wanted your grace, but not your grind. So they attempt the oldest trick in the spiritual playbook: confusion. They project their own motives onto you. They'll say you forgot where you came from, but change is proof of evolution, not betrayal. And you didn't forget where you came from. You just finally remembered where you were going. See, chosen ones, listen carefully. You can't be destiny swapped if you stay aligned. Imitation only works when you abandon authority and you abandon authenticity. Keep your creative process sacred. Keep it close to your heart, close to your chest. Don't announce every move before it matures. Protect your rhythm, it's your signature. Because some people don't love you, they love what you unlock in them. They're inspired by you, but they inspired and but don't want to recreate. They want to take through you. And when you stop unlocking them, you stop inspiring, start undoing you. And that's not love, that's extraction. Destiny thieves are allergic to self-accountability. They'll mimic your healing language while avoiding their own work. They'll preach transformation while living in disguise. They'll want the audience that healing attracts, not the scars that healing costs. So the chosen must walk wiser. No bitterness, just boundaries. Don't seek revenge, just recognition. When you recognize the pattern, you don't need to fight it because you're going to stop feeding it. You don't need to confront or argue it, because what they call power, you are calling this is your purpose, this is your calling. And purpose doesn't compete, it completes what it started. Every time someone tries to copy your essence in your family, in your career, in your intellectual property, in your business, in your ideas, they unknowingly confirm that your originality is divine proof. They're telling you carry something I can't recreate. So stand firm. Don't defend your gift, embody it. Don't chase validation. Anchor in your purpose. And don't explain authenticity. Live it until imitation exhausts itself. You were not placed here to be borrowed, cloned, or swapped. You were sent here to demonstrate what cannot be replicated. Your assignment is encoded, just like your fingerprint. It is sealed with trials, with tears, with triumphs, and timing. The real can't be replaced. Stay aware, stay aligned, stay untouchable, because destiny only answers to the voice that birthed it. Thank you for visiting my channel. Stay covered, stay conscious, stay undefeated. See you on the next one.